Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Introducing Bark in the Belly Premium Dog Food. 100% of profits go to help dogs in need.
Over 30% of adults struggle with chronic foot and joint pain, and many face mobility limitations as they age. But a revolutionary Comfort First slipper has taken the wellness world by storm. Try Cloud Slides and feel you are walking on the clouds. Cloud Slides.
For about the past month, you've had a message to fans every single week about noise. Do you have a message for them this week with being the final game?
Well, they're going to have plenty of rest after this one, 2 weeks.
Ooh, Sean Payton already booking the tickets to Santa Clara. It is the Thursday before the AFC Championship game here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. Sounds like some bulletin board material from the old ball coach out there in Denver. Welcome on in. It is your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, live on YouTube, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, every weekday, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. We are wall to wall with Patriots AFC Championship game coverage all week long. Today, we're going to talk a little bit more about Patriots Derangement Syndrome and what is coming out big time in this build up to the AFC Championship game. But first, we've got to start this show off right. We're bringing on Zach Gelb of 365 Sports. The dude has been everywhere, man, like a young Johnny Cash, just without the baggage of a young Johnny Cash. Zach, happy to have you on the show today. How are you loving this build-up so far to this game?
I may have some baggage. You just don't know about it yet. It's a bizarre build-up because as a Patriot fan going into this year, I thought they could be 9-8. They could be 10-7. I didn't think it was, wild. I wasn't saying I was expecting it, but I thought they could be it. And even when they got into the postseason, I knew the team was good. But then I said to myself, are we really going to get to another Super Bowl this year? And I just said, just get through the Chargers game. And they got through the Chargers game. And I was confident that they would beat the Texans because I didn't trust C.J. Stroud. And now you're sitting here going to Denver, which has been a house of horrors for the Patriots, but they're going up against Jarrett Stidham. So in a year where we've seen this team go from the 4th overall pick in the draft to then if they don't win on Sunday, yes, the season is a success, but I'll be massively disappointed on Sunday. And this is the first time this year I've sat there and I've legitimately thought to myself, why not us? Like, why can't we going out there and win 2 more games? And even if they do win, the winner's going to be Mr. Seeing Ghost in Sam Darnold or the Rams. We know they're a heck of a team, but it's not as if either of those teams are unbeatable. So I like the buildup of this game. I don't like that everyone's like, oh, we're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win. I think the Broncos are going to be alive, but it's amazing that the Pats are this quickly back in this spot because it's been a long-suffering 5 years. We are usually in the penthouse, and we were thrown right back into the outhouse. I'm sure Jets fans can relate to me. I'm sure Browns fans can relate to me. Lions fans, you can relate to me. Don't let us get this one, and don't let us get the one in 2 weeks if the Pats win on Sunday.
It certainly does feel like that kind of angst is setting in with the rest of the country, right? Like, this was a fun story. People like Drake Maye. People like Mike Vrabel. And now it's all coming back around. And I think we're all starting to feel the same way that Zach Gelb feels right now. So you're obviously, you've been around, you're quite a hodgepodge, right? New York City guy with great sports talk radio ties. You went to Philly. You did great work there. You've been doing national, but you are a Patriots fan. You're practically related to Andre Tippett. That's kind of how I'm going with that one. You're basically related to him. And so I know that you keep an eye out for how the media is talking about things throughout the week. And obviously, like I just mentioned, you're getting the Patriots hatred back. Like, you're getting the moving the goalpost back. Like, that's happening on the national level. But what I've been so surprised by is we kind of had our day on Sunday of like, oh my God, it's Jarrett Stidham. Like, seriously, now the Patriots are going to get Jarrett Stidham. And it seems like since then it has steadily built into, I'm watching stuff on national shows this morning, and they're telling me how good Jarrett Stidham is and how he's the best backup in the league. And why would Sean Payton pay him all this kind of money to be the backup? Is it getting out of hand, the Jarrett Stidham storyline?
Yeah. I like Peter Schrager. I know Peter Schrager, but how much Stidham is getting hyped up with Sean Payton. Like, don't get me wrong. The Broncos can win this game. If Jarrett Stidham just manages the game, they could win. But with all the praise that's going to Stidham, have you seen the Patriots defense? Because this Patriots defense is starting to remind me of 01, 03, 04. That's what it's reminding me. And getting Milton Williams back, he's been my favorite player on the team. Getting Milton Williams, and he's been, you could argue, the best player on the team, even though the Patriots made the MVP in Drake Maye, even though Christian Gonzalez is a stud. Milton Williams back in this lineup frees up Barrymore. The back end, we know how good they could be, even though I don't love Carlton Davis, but he made some nice plays this past weekend. The linebackers are good enough. Milton Williams, for the Patriots defense, he is their MVP. And look, when he was out for 4 weeks, the run defense wasn't all that great. He comes back. Chargers couldn't run the ball. Texans couldn't run the ball. And Herbert had to throw it more than he wanted to. And especially with that injury, Herbert's a fantastic player. Stroud had to throw it more than he wanted to. So go make Jarrett Stidham beat you. If Jarrett Stidham puts his cojones on the table up against the Patriots and he beats us, tip the cap, Denver, heck of a job. But I'll believe it when I see it.
Do you think it's like, because I feel like it's distracting from how the Broncos could actually beat the Patriots, right? Like, I'm starting to hear how good Jarrett Stidham is. And it's like, the dude's not throwing for 280, 3 touchdowns and no picks. Like that's just
put it this
probably
way.
not happening.
If he was that great, don't you think someone in the last 3 years would say, I want to go make Jarrett Stidham the starting quarterback? Like, look, there are people that legitimately believe this offseason Malik Willis is going to get a contract to start somewhere. Why hasn't Jarrett Stidham got that opportunity? And I understand the history of the league. Brady was a backup, wins a Super Bowl. Nick Foles, now he was more established, but he got into the fold and went on a run. Jeff Hostetler went on a run and won a Super Bowl. So it can happen. But those guys had time. Like Brady had a whole season, Hostetler season, Foles several weeks, and he already, was a guy that started in the league before. They're throwing Jarrett Stidham in a week prior on Sunday. The quarterback, no one knew it, broke his ankle in Bo Nix. You find out after the game. And now people are going to tell me that this kid is the best kept secret in the NFL. Nonsense to me.
The other one I heard this week, by the way, was Geno Smith. People saying, well, look at Geno now. Look at that. And I'm like, Geno did start right out of college. Like he had the opportunity, and Jarrett Stidham has not had that or not been awarded that, has not earned that. We saw how bad Cam Newton was in 2020. I know everyone wants us to forget that, how bad he was in 2020. That's a guy that Jarrett Stidham could not beat out for that job when the Patriots were fairly desperate there. So that, and I know that was a long time ago, but hasn't happened since. He started 3 games in his NFL career. Hasn't thrown a pass in 2 years. He's the only backup in the league that didn't do that this year. But thinking about, like the Stidham thing, he's not going to just dominate you. He can make plays to beat you, like you just kind of outlined a few answers ago. But do you think it takes away from the fact that the Broncos can win this game just through other means, through their vaunted defense, through Drake Maye putting the ball on the ground some more?
They could win this game defensively. Like, I remember, it's funny you bring up Cam. I was at that Super Bowl where it was Panthers and Broncos. Peyton Manning, I know he rode off into the sunset, and it was a wonderful goodbye for number 18, the Sheriff. He was god-awful in that game. There were dropped interceptions.
To win a Super Bowl.
He could have easily have lost that game for them, but the bounces went their way. That defense was suffocating. And last week, Drake did not play well, still had 3 passing touchdowns, but did not play well and put the ball on the turf. And the Patriots, for the most part, I know they lost some, but they were able to recover them. The ball bounces the other way. Maybe the Patriots aren't here. So the formula for the Broncos and their defense is suffocating. Suffocate the quarterback, force turnovers, and then your quarterback just has to manage the game. Like the Broncos could win this game without Jarrett Stidham even throwing a touchdown pass on Sunday if he just protects the football. You manage the game, you let the defense be the filet mignon, and yes, Denver could be going in 2 weeks to Santa Clara and be playing for a Super Bowl.
How much does it help that versus the first 2 opponents the Patriots got in the playoffs as opposed to the Broncos? Broncos have a very good offensive line, like very good, maybe the best in the league, right up there. And how much do you think that helps a backup quarterback who at least has seen some things and held the clipboard for a while?
So it definitely can negate some of the warts that he has, because if you threw him behind that Texans offensive line last week, or you threw him against that Chargers offensive line that's missing their 2 tackles all throughout the season, Slater and Milton, Joel, excuse me. That's a situation where you see the deer in the headlights. But this line is that good. So it can help them where we talk about managing the game and you throw a quarterback behind the line that could give him some time, it could definitely negate a little bit this Patriots just dominant defense that we've seen for the last 2 weeks in the postseason.
Wait, dominant defense or just playing the worst teams in the league? Because I'm
you know
hearing
what?
a little bit of both.
Bunch of bullshit. I don't care.
These teams are great until they lose and then they're ass. They're just total trash.
Let's embrace it. The Patriots schedule is easy. The Patriots still are in the AFC Championship game. They were still beat the Bills for the AFC East. They still had they had the number 2 seed. And if you want to tell me in, let's say 2 weeks from now, we are blessed to see the Patriots win their 7th championship. Oh, the schedule was easy. Like, if that's going to be the narrative, you'd rather be us. I'd rather go win a Super Bowl and have every single Tom, Dick, and Harry go, oh, it's not fair. Oh, the Patriots schedule is so easy. Well, they got there, right? If they win this game, they're in the Super Bowl and they're 60 minutes away from holding up a trophy. It's like the Warriors. I remember when the Warriors got Kevin Durant. Everyone's like, oh, it's unfair. They got, a great player and they already had an all-time great team. Does any Warriors fan sit there and go, man, those 2 championships that we won, they're tainted. You know what? Then I don't give a crap about the narrative. Like, go F yourself if the Patriots win the Super Bowl and you're going to try to rain on my parade because they didn't have the toughest schedule. The last time I checked, every player in the NFL gets a paycheck and you can only play who's in front of you. And this is an open year in the NFL. And they played the Chargers, they beat them. They played the Texans, they beat them. If they beat the Broncos, everyone say, oh, they played a backup quarterback. We'll be an underdog. There's no doubt we'll be an underdog if we win this game to either of the teams that win the NFC. But it's not like the Patriots then can't go win one more game to go win a Super Bowl.
I wonder if they'll put a little asterisk, little note on the banner.
Wouldn't it be the first time with one of our championships?
Well, yeah, right.
And you can still polish my rings, all you people that bitch and complain.
Hell yes. Hell yes, man. All right, so this is kind of something I've come back to this week, and I don't even think it's a bad thing. I think it's actually great for this team and where they're at in the process here. But it does feel like the first time all season that the pressure's truly on you. There's certain pressure with games that can clinch the division, having home playoff games. There's a certain pressure to that. But this feels, 5.5-point favorites going on the road for the AFC Championship against a backup quarterback. Does this feel like the first time all season that the pressure is truly and squarely on the Patriots?
I'm going to just push back in one spot. Halftime, Buffalo. Second game. Obviously, they beat them the first time in Buffalo. But the second half in Buffalo, the Patriots, with the start that they got out to, were expected to win that game. And at the end of the game, Drake Maye did not play well. So that was the first pressure point moment for this team. And they weren't there where they needed to be as Josh Allen had that second half comeback. But outside of that, this is obviously the biggest pressure point of the season. I didn't feel a lot of pressure going in up against the Chargers. I didn't feel a lot of pressure going up against the Texans, because if they would have lost to the Chargers or the Texans, I think after you marinated it a day or two, you go, okay, that season was a lot better than what we thought. But now, even if they lose in the AFC Championship, like if you told me before the year the Patriots would lose in the AFC Championship game, I'd say, okay, I'd sign for it. But now knowing that Stidham is their quarterback for the Broncos and you're not going up against Bo Nix, I think the Patriots could have beat the Broncos even with Bo Nix. Yes, this would be a moment where if they don't win, they deserve to get crushed for it, for not beating a Denver team that's playing with a backup quarterback, even though this is a very good Broncos team.
So outside of the backup quarterback, outside of Stidham, what is the biggest advantage for the Patriots? What's their best route to victory Sunday?
It's a good question. I think you're going to need to see Travion Henderson break off a big play. So Ramondre Stevenson, ever since that fumbling issue that he had up against the Bills, knock on wood, he's been pretty damn good. He's been pretty damn good.
Yeah, great.
I feel comfortable with Ramondre Stevenson. Now, Henderson, I didn't like the delayed handoffs last week. Just go. But he has that ability to break out a big play. So I think that's something to watch for. Also, if Mac Hollins comes back in this game, he could be a clutch player for this team. And if Mac Hollins is playing on Sunday, I will bet an anytime touchdown on Mac Hollins. And also, I got to think, Drake has not played great the last 2 weeks. I don't think he's going to give you another game where he doesn't show you that MVP Drake Maye. So that's what I kind of look at the offensive side of the ball. And I'll tell you defensively, It's a secondary. Gonzo, Carlton Davis, Hawkins, who's been phenomenal on the back end, Marcus Jones, who is such a versatile player. They have some guys on this team that they're just in the right positions, and they all feed off of Gonzalez with his shutdown ability. And that secondary, that's where they should get the advantage going up against a quarterback that just as of last week was a backup quarterback.
You're right. And Marcus Jones, man, talk about a guy who's not talked about enough in the full, NFL annals. He's having a terrific year in a couple of phases of the game. And you did see that last week. I like that you brought up that point about what they were doing against the Texans defense early. A lot of draws, a lot of screen passes. It just wasn't working. Like, these were ways that clearly Josh McDaniels had seen, like, this is how you can beat the Texans defense. That game plan didn't work. They pivoted and still had a pretty good offensive performance. Like, I know Drake put the ball on the ground too much, but I mean, to throw 3 touchdowns against that defense and put up 21 against them, that was clearly more than enough. So we're talking about Patriots Broncos, and I know you have an interest specifically in Patriots Broncos. We got a pretty good matchup on the other side. I did want to ask you that before we get out of here, is like, are we not paying enough attention to this kind of great NFC West matchup for the NFC Championship?
I think people are paying attention to it, but you're a Patriot fan. I'm a Patriots
I got a
fan.
bias.
We care more about the Patriots-Broncos game. I think if you ask everyone outside of Patriots and Broncosville, like, which game are you more excited for? Yeah, I think they're more excited for Rams and Seahawks. And those two teams, since they play in the same division, they met twice this year. In the first matchup, Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions. They only lost by 2 points. They missed a 61-yard field goal at the end of the game. So even with Sam Darnold playing as bad as possible, they almost won the game. The second time, the Rams, which they have been able to do this year, they did up against the Eagles too. They blew a big fourth quarter lead, and then the Seahawks prevailed in overtime. So I'm curious if the Rams are in the fourth quarter up by 7, how they react to that. Like, on paper, I think the Rams are the better team. And maybe this is the year Stafford, it could be his last year, gets his second. You got Kyron Williams. You got Devontae Adams. Obviously, Puka Nacua is a stud defensively. They got some damn good players in Turner and Young and Fisk and Verse. But I don't know. Even though everything's telling me Rams in this one, and I shouldn't trust Sam Darnold in a big spot, even though he's turned around his career the last 2 years, something just keeps on telling me Seattle at home, their defense. I know Zach Charbonnet. Something just tells me the Seahawks are going to win. And I don't know if this is true or not. I feel like conference championship weekend, usually expect one road team to get the job done and one home team to get the job done. So if I'm expecting the Pats to win, maybe then I'm also then just saying, okay, then I'll go with the home team on the NFC side.
So we got this 2016 trend going on, but really we're taking it back to February 2015, if Zach Gelb is right, in another Patriots-Seahawks matchup, which I think is the best Super Bowl of all time, in my opinion. I know there's some good ones in the last decade.
Well, like, if you look at just the Patriots run, so the one they lost to the Eagles was an incredible Super Bowl.
Unfortunately, yeah, it was a great game.
The 18-0, that was a tremendous upset. I don't think the game was that good. No. The second loss to the Giants, that one actually stings more than the 18-0 one, in my opinion, because they were better than the Giants in that game. They were not better than the Giants in the first Super Bowl loss. Obviously, in 0-1, a classic Brady drive at the end of the game, Vinatieri at the game-winning kick. The Panthers Super Bowl is tremendously underrated. The Eagles won, the one they won, not really that memorable. But the Pats Rams a second time, forgettable at 28-3. Like,
that's the two it comes down to, yeah.
I'm not saying that those are the two greatest Super Bowls of all time, but for this sake, if you were like, if to pick one, 28-3, the Malcolm Butler play is the greatest thrill because they drag you to the brink of defeat and then you get the victory when no one saw it coming. After what was a great comeback by Brady, down 10 points in the fourth quarter up against the LOB. But to be down 28-3, and I was in the building for that game, to be down 28-3 and come on back from that, in the Patriot victories, that's got to be at the top of the list. Now, I think of some other great games in Patriots history at the old RCA Dome, stuff in the Colts on the goal line. That's one. The double pass game up against the Ravens, another one that stands out. The Jacksonville AFC Championship game was a fun comeback as well. Ty Law with the 3 interceptions, picking off Payton 4 times in the game. That was a fun one too. But those are some of the games that you go in the annals of my Patriots fandom that just jump out.
Overtime in Kansas City?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, classic.
That honestly is pretty. That was better than the Super Bowl win up against the Rams.
Yes.
And how surgical Brady was in overtime. 3rd down, bam. 3rd down, bam. 3rd down, bam. Yeah, that is definitely one that has to get mentioned as well.
All right, Zach. Last question.
Snowball
question
too.
for you.
Raiders, snowball. Yeah.
Great. It's great. When you rewatch, I would say skip ahead through to like the 3rd quarter. But great game. Great game. Fun to watch. Zach, last question before we get you out of here. So let's just run through this scenario. It's the beginning of my afternoon here on the East Coast. I've listened to this guy rant for an hour. And what I actually want is smart sports talk by someone who knows the game inside and out, who just like we just had the last 20 minutes or so. Where can I find that directly after this show?
I must be a good salesman and a good actor, because if you think I'm smart, geez. It makes me think that you're not as intelligent as I thought you were. But you can find me. You can find me via Rogue Media, obviously, which is both of our partners, but 365 Sports, beautiful hat that they just sent me, a few of the hats that they sent me. You could watch us. Just got the show started 2 weeks ago. I used to host a national radio show for 8 years on CBS Sports Radio. I do Dallas Cowboys and NFL studio work for Compass Media Networks. And also do studio work for college basketball. But the Zach Gelb Show, Monday through Fridays from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 to 3 p.m. Central Time, right here on 365 Sports.
He sells himself short, man. This guy knows more. He's forgotten more about today's NFL than most of us even know. Zach, super appreciative of you coming on the show today and hoping we're 2 happy guys on Monday morning.
Let's hope so, because if not, oh boy, I may have to jump back on and just bitch and complain to you.
Dude,
you kind of got to be my therapist potentially.
I can be that. I can be that. And I have seen the visions of Jarrett Stidham ruining my life and being a part of my life forever. And I'm just trying to block it out. But Zach, thank you once again. And we look forward to tuning into your show in a couple minutes here.
You got it, Cam. Thanks. It was wicked awesome, as they would say.
Yeah, he's wicked awesome too. Zach Gelb here on the Wicked Boston Show. Let me know what you guys think. Do you have your score predictions yet? Do you have your dream Super Bowl matchup yet? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you live on YouTube, 1 p.m. Eastern time every weekday, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. It's your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio right here on the Wicked Boston Show. Zach Gelb, man, 1 in a million. All right, to be from New York City, go to Philly, and still keep his Patriots roots. His Patriots roots. His uncle lived next door to him. I heard this great story the other day on the Pete Souza show. His uncle lived next door to him. His uncle's from Massachusetts. His dad, who was the original producer of Mike and the Mad Dog, talk about sports talk in your blood, was working on Sundays. So Zach would go and watch the Patriots with his uncle. And here we are. Here we are in the year of our Lord 2026, one of the biggest Patriots fans in the national media. So super appreciative of Zach coming on. Before we kind of shift gears into the national media that's not Zach Gelb, that has this sickness that we need to go over and diagnose, I do want to go back to that video I played at the beginning of the show. Here is Sean Payton potentially giving the Patriots some bulletin board material.
About the past month, you've had a message to fans every single week about noise. Do you have a message for them this week with being the final game?
Well, they're going to have plenty of rest after this one. 2 weeks.
Comes right out there and says it. Now, this is interesting, man. What I'm interested in is like, look, do I really care that Sean Payton says that? Not really. Like, it's a little brash for an NFL coach, especially one starting a backup quarterback. And I'm guessing he's just trying to get people confident, right? Like, hey, we do believe in Jarrett to the point where I'm going to call out the Patriots. 10 years ago, that's something you never, ever, ever would have done, but it is a different time. In the NFL, it's a different Patriots. It's not Tom Brady, right? But what I'm curious about is, how is Mike Vrabel using this? is Mike Vrabel using this at all? Because I don't think he's very Belichickian when it comes to his coaching style. You know, he's not like a disciple of Belichick like some people want him to be. Are there some things where he's like Bill Belichick? Yeah, absolutely. I remember, the way he uses clock, the way he uses his challenges, the way he really is in on every detail. I go back to that game in New Orleans where he challenged a play that was called a catch for his team. He challenged it because he wanted the runner to be inbounds so that he didn't have to run another play before the 2-minute warning, and then he could just run the clock out after the 2-minute warning. That is something that Bill Belichick would do, and not many other coaches in the league would do. But other than that, Mike Vrabel's not really like Bill Belichick. He's not someone who ever coached under Bill Belichick. But I am fascinated to hear about, and I'm sure we won't hear it till after the game, of if he used this. Because Bill Belichick would use that clip in the locker room. He would. It's just like the Colts going for extra tickets to the AFC Championship game in 2003, I think that was. 2004. In 2001, when there was only 1 week between the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl, and the Pittsburgh Steelers had their bags packed and ready to hop on the flight after they beat the Patriots. Or, of course, right before Super Bowl 39, when the Eagles printed in the Philadelphia Inquirer what their championship parade route was going to be. And Bill Belichick read it off to the team before their walkthrough. The man could make you feel like the underdog in any situation. That was a superpower of Bill Belichick and those Patriots teams. In 2004, when Rodney Harrison would be saying, nobody expected us to be here after they won 21 straight games, So I wonder if Mike Vrabel is using that. Mike Vrabel could just flip on, go to the facility and flip on ESPN, and it would be easy to motivate these guys. And I don't know if he's like that. I don't know if he's just sitting there saying, hey, let's stick to the plan, positive, this is us, that, and the other. But the opposing coach, who has had his problems in the postseason, has just given them quite a bit of fuel to add to the fire if Mike Vrabel wants to stoke the flames. His team's already saying, we're going. Fans will get to rest for 2 weeks. I think they're going to be resting a lot longer. Let me know what you think. Comment section below. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We are, bearing down right now on 5,000 subscribers. It's been a huge week for us on the Wicked Boston show, obviously leading up to Patriots Broncos. But you guys loved the video I did the other day calling out ESPN and Dan Orlovsky. Well, thank God the powers that be at ESPN and some other places too, they've given us even more ammo. It's time to start telling the world again about Patriots Derangement Syndrome. Coming up after this very short 2-minute break, we will go over the worst takes of the week when it comes to the Patriots and this AFC Championship game. And let's reintroduce the world to a sickness we call Patriots Derangement Syndrome. That's next on the Wicked Boston Show.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
A house is a property, but we live in homes. Home sweet home. Homes where the heart is. We aim to deliver the best home buying and selling experience so you can spend less time real estating and more time living.
With Ease US, make studio-quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional-grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US. Nalgene Outdoor has been your trusted companion, fueling adventures and helping protect the planet. We're committed to reducing waste, improving access to clean water, and providing simple, safe, and sustainable products for you and your family. NALGENE.com.
Welcome back to the Wicked Boston Show here on Rogue Media Sports Network, live on YouTube, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then available wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. How about Zach Gelb, man? Like Zach Gelb, he watches this league inside and out, but he is a Patriots fan. Doesn't cloud his judgment, but he's a Patriots fan. And I just love having that breakdown when you see what everyone else is saying around the league. It's good to have a guy like Zach Gelb come in here who's not wearing a Patriots hat like me and can still give you a measured kind of preview of this game and what to expect from Patriots Broncos, man. It's fun because look, I get it. We don't get measured commentary a lot anymore. And I wouldn't even say I'm measured all the time, not even close. You know, I have my rants, but what I'm trying to do is be the voice for the fans here. Because I don't think Boston Sports Talk Radio is necessarily a voice for the fans anymore. You know, Toucher and Hardy, that's not a voice for the fans. Felger and Maz, that's not a voice for the fans. WEEI Afternoons, that's not a voice for anybody, even the people that are on the show. Okay? So what we're trying to bring you here on Wicked Boston is the voice of the fans. And what has really sparked Patriots fans' interest in the last week is the return of this grave illness that is sweeping the nation. It's sad. It's scary. You don't like seeing your relatives or your loved ones have this illness, but it's back and it's infecting our entire country. It's called Patriots Derangement Syndrome, and it is fully in households all across America, dentist's office, gyms, anything that's still showing ESPN on the daily. They're going to tell you just how the Patriots are not good. Their personalities are going to tell you the Patriots stink and everyone they've played stinks. And that this great league that is the NFL, somehow a team has lucked their way in to the AFC Championship game. One of those people telling you that, one of the loudest voices, volume-wise certainly, is former Patriot Cam Newton. Accomplished player, man. Heisman Trophy, one of the great Heisman seasons of all time. NFL MVP, took his team to a Super Bowl in 2015. And now he's just another hater in the long list of talking heads on ESPN who talk nice and yell loud and sometimes use big words. So the people in the dentist's office think they're getting good, solid football commentary. You're not, but that's what they want you to believe. Here's Cam Newton, who earlier in the season, when the Patriots were roughly, 10-2 and had won 9-10 straight games, Cam Newton was telling you they were fool's gold, middle of the mall. And now that they're in the AFC Championship game at 16-3 and have absolutely dominated back-to-back weeks, mainly in terms of their defense, sure. Cam Newton is here to tell you his opinion has not changed.
England Patriots have had the easiest road to the Super Bowl in NFL history. Go on.
Like, does it mean more when you're just saying it louder? Like, is that kind of the key to this here? Maybe I should just start yelling more like Cam Newton. Sorry, we're gonna break down the tape and go along.
Argue with your mama. First off, going into Foxborough alone, that's an edge.
Okay, so now we're saying the Patriots aren't as good as we think they are because they earned home field, because they were the number 2 seed. That Foxborough is such a cauldron that even playing there is unfair to the other teams of the National Football League. Okay, just trying to follow along here.
First team that you play, the Los Angeles Chargers. Bottom tier team. Now,
gotcha. The Chargers. Bottom tier team in the postseason. 11-6. Beat both of the teams that played in the Super Bowl last year. Beat them a combined 3 times. But that's bottom tier. That's a bottom tier team. That second place team in the toughest division in the AFC, yeah, that's a bottom tier team. Gotcha, Cam.
That 18 expected to have a deep playoff push. Justin Herbert isn't who we thought Justin Herbert was. He don't got nobody protecting him. I was praying for him. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Let him be able to walk after this game. And then they played another team that came in.
And then... like, who is that for? Who likes that? Who's like, yeah, Cam's saying it in a high-pitched voice. All right, what do we got next?
To Foxborough, that was deficient skillfully. Houston, Texas. Nico Collins, out. That wasn't the best version of that team.
All right, so C.J. Stroud does not throw 4 picks if Nico Collins is in there. Got it. Yeah, no, I'm riding with you, Cam. I totally get it. That team stinks too. Yeah, number 1 defense in football, but because Nico Collins was out, that's why they lost by 2 touchdowns. Gotcha.
J. Stroud throwing 4 interceptions, having a passer rating that was conducive to him just taking a step back and spiking the ball.
Says nothing about the defense.
Now you play a Denver Broncos team that really is deficient too. You're going up against the second string quarterback in Jarrett Stidham.
And again, another top 5 defense in the league. But I'm sure Cam's getting to that.
Their opponents have been deficient. That's my argument. So
here is my argument then, Cam, from one Cam to another. Should that be a mark on the Patriots that seemingly everyone they've played this season, including 2 playoff games, is deficient? That those teams lose, the Patriots don't win? Is that a mark against the Patriots? Or is that a mark against the NFL? Like, I think your problem here is with the National Football League. If we are in the 3rd round of the NFL playoffs here, 19 games into the season, and apparently the Patriots have not played one good team all year, how is that possible? That seems like an NFL problem at this point. Are we going to have some think pieces on how bad the NFL is? How there's no skill in this 32-team league? Is that what's coming up next on 4th and 1 with Cam Newton? I'll hang up and listen.
Don't get mad at me when I just lead with stats and facts.
Where was the fact? Someone help me. Because literally in this video so far, we've got some time left. He has not said a single fact. Not one. Literally not one. It's just been purely opinion, which is fine. That's your job. But don't then say to me that's just facts when you haven't said a single goddamn fact in the whole thing.
You saying the Patriots are fool's gold still?
Yes. They ain't played everybody's best. Am I mad? No!
They haven't played everybody's best.
No, I'm not mad, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just giving you another way of thinking. And the way of thinking should be.
No, you're not. No, you're not, dude. Everyone on your network is thinking that way. ESPN and whatever you branch off to as an ESPN media member, it is entirely groupthink. So you're not giving me a new way to look at it. You're giving me the same way that everyone else on your network is telling me to look at it. Everyone else, Cam. So no, you're not doing that either. So everything has been false so far. Let's continue.
The New England Patriots are a good team, but the New England Patriots have not faced anybody that's also good.
Again, 19 games in the National Football League, and no one has been good. The Buffalo Bills, not good. That's what you're telling me. I'm sure that's what you've been saying all season long. Man, the Buffalo Bills, they're just not any good. They stink. If the Patriots beat them, it shouldn't even count. Like, I'm sure that's what they were saying.
That's facts. Where'd they go?
Not facts. Again, I just have to get that out there. In no way is that a fact. No way at all. In fact, it makes me think in 5th grade, Cam, when I was 10 years old. Now, you have a degree from Auburn, so I'm assuming you did get past the 5th grade. But after hearing this video, I'm wishy-washy on that. In the 5th grade, we had this 10-question quiz, facts versus opinion. I got 9 out of 10 right because I had Matt Nicholson on my Town League basketball team, and he was way better than everyone else. So I said that basketball isn't necessarily a team sport. It's an opinion. That's the only one I got wrong. Everything else, fact versus opinion. I can tell you, these are not facts. These are purely opinions. And opinions can't be right or wrong, but these are mostly wrong. That's not a fact. Nothing that you said has been a fact. Okay. I know we got impressionable people watching on the YouTube. Okay. I don't want you to think that what this man is saying is in any way a fact. That's it.
Cam, you a hater. Cam, Drake May's better than you. Man, listen, I'm a Drake May fan, bro. I really am.
No, you're not. No, you're not. People only found out that Cam Newton was on TV this year because you called out Drake May, because you said he wasn't very good, because you called him a game manager. He's got the highest yards per attempt in the league and the best deep ball thrower of any quarterback in the league. By the way, those are 2 facts right there. Those are statistically accurate facts. You calling him a game manager is not a fact. It's an opinion, and it's a wrong one. It is kind of sad. It's a dissent, man. This guy was one of the most powerful players in our league. An icon, dude. Like, how everything Cam Newton was doing was iconic. His Heisman season at Auburn, and then everyone doing the Superman and the dab and the kid in the commercial who's going to take his job. Cam Newton used to be an icon. Now he's just a puppet. It's just got someone's hand right up his back at ESPN telling him what to say. Oh, and then afterwards, after you spew this crap, tell them it's a fact. They'll believe it because you're wearing a funny hat. You know, they'll think, oh, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And Cam Newton right now is taking the place of Max Kellerman and Rob Parker. Those guys are still talking into a void somewhere, probably to less people than I talk to every day. And they're still going on, but don't make a mistake here. Cam Newton is one of the ones taking the mantle of Patriots Derangement Syndrome, heading the table, saying, here is why the Patriots aren't good, and they're going to keep winning, and I'm going to keep doubling down on them not being good. It's just bizarre, man, and we really don't do it for other teams. We do it for the Patriots, and we did it for the Patriots for a long time, and you saw it with the Chiefs. But that's it, man. No one did it with any of LeBron's teams. Not really. No one did it with the Warriors. Not really. You know, we didn't do it with the Lightning or the Panthers in the NHL and just say, man, but they didn't beat anybody, so this shouldn't count. Don't even do it with the super team Dodgers, just the Patriots. That's who we do it to. So, yeah, it's sad. But now Cam Newton has gone from Heisman Trophy winner, national champion, MVP of the NFL to now on his resume, poster child of Patriots Derangement Syndrome. It's too bad. It's just too bad, man. And he wasn't the only one this week. He's just spearheading this thing because there was another former Heisman Trophy winner and quarterback's brother, I believe, Jordan Palmer, who is the quarterback coach, private throwing coach for Jarrett Stidham, who went on Rich Eisen this week and once again gave you a heavy dose of Patriots Derangement Syndrome. If you look at it too closely, you will catch PDS as well, and you might go blind.
Drake May and Jarrett Stidham both play at their best. I don't think it's much different, and I don't really see Jarrett having a floor.
Okay, all right. So Jarrett Stidham, who has not been trusted to throw a pass in an NFL game the last 2 seasons, is as good as a guy who's going to be either first or second in the MVP voting this year. Like, does anybody hear this and believe this? Like, I know Rich Eisen doesn't see that coming, that answer coming, but like, if that happens on my show, I'm like, I got to get this guy off the air. I got to cut this out now or people are just going to tune away. They're going to think this is some comedy routine. This is some Letterman in the 90s. Like, what the hell are you talking about? This is what I mean, dude. Like, Jarrett Stidham is probably a fine backup quarterback. He's got some good weapons to go to this week. He's got a good offensive line. But can we stop with this? at his best and at Drake May's best, which is, again, like so far in year 2, like MVP level is his best, historically good level is his best, you think Jarrett Stidham can get there. And of course, no matter what he does this Sunday, because he's not going to play to that level, they're going to say, well, he didn't play at his best. Because that's what you do with Patriots Derangement Syndrome. You throw these vague things out there that are incalculable, right? There's no way to measure it. You know, Cam Newton will just say anything and say, argue with your mama. That's facts. That's just facts. When it's entirely opinion. And how do you come back from that without stooping down to that level, to be quite honest? Like anything rebutting that, like what I'm doing right now, is just stooping down to that level. I feel like that scene in Billy Madison. Like we're all dumber for having seen this stuff, for having listened to it. At no point was there a coherent point in there. But that's what we got, baby. That's how we're back. And so you may be wondering, all right, Cam, if you're just going to come at everyone here for having Patriots Derangement Syndrome just because they have a take that you don't like, who does know ball? Who doesn't have Patriots Derangement Syndrome? Who can get out of bed this morning not sick from this incurable fever that the Patriots hand down? Well, I guess me. That's one that you can listen 1 to 2 p.m. every day, every weekday live on YouTube. But there's another ball knower out there, and you already know who she is.
The Patriots win this game and make it to the Super Bowl. Drake has navigated one of the toughest paths a quarterback has ever had to navigate from a defensive standpoint ever. Ever. No hyperbole. He already took down the Chargers and their 5th-ranked defense, the Texans and their number 1 defense, and now he gets the number 2-ranked Broncos. This is where he can make history because since the 1970 merger, no quarterback ever, no hyperbole, ever, no quarterback has taken down 3 teams with a top 5 total defense in a single playoff run.
Louder for the people in the back. Louder for the people in the back. Ball knower. Kay Adams. Total ball knower. Not Kay Corleone, nay Adams. Kay Adams. Up and Adams. The only one, ironically enough, the only woman that we've highlighted in these bad takes, because she has a good take, the only woman with the balls to say what's actually in front of her. And that is that the Patriots, if they win, will have rolled through 3 elite defenses to get there. Nobody wants to hear that. They just want to hear about how bad CJ Stroud is. They want to hear about how bad the Jets and the Dolphins were, the teams they played in December. They don't care about these last 2 weeks. The only one with the balls to tell you how it is, give it to you straight, is Kay Adams, apparently. At least in the national game, she's the only one. Credit to you, Kay Adams. You're welcome on the Wicked Boston Show anytime. You name the time, you name the place. Maybe we'll bump into you in the Super Bowl. I'll be there no matter what on Radio Row. Let me know what you guys think. Do you or a loved one, have you or a loved one been victimized by Patriots Derangement Syndrome? You may be entitled to benefits. All you got to do, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comment below on how it feels that the Patriots are back and that everyone wants you to fail. Everyone is just waiting around the corner for you to fail again. Boy, it feels like the old days. Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you every weekday live on YouTube, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then we're available wherever you get your podcasts as well. It's your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. It's right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. When we come back, let's mix it up a little bit because I need to talk about something else just a little bit. The Celtics, man, what a season they're having. What a run they are on. I saw something yesterday that is going to make Celtics fans very pissed off, okay? Because I think it's time we need to have a serious talk about Al Horford. We need to have a serious talk about Al Horford betraying the Celtics. That's next on the Wicked Boston Show.
Circulon C1 Series Clad with Scratch Defense Non-Stick. Maximize cooking, minimize cleaning. Discover the unmatched durability and elegance scratch-free, worry-free, forever.
At Covers and All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
Back here on the Wicked Boston Show, Rogue Media Sports Network, your host Cam Stewart, Zach Burke, behind the glass, keeping us on the air 5 days a week, live on YouTube, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. Shout out to Zach Gelb, by the way. We had him at the top of the show. Man, his show's going to start right after ours, man. So stick around on the Rogue Media Network. Find his show on YouTube, man. He's going to have some great breakdowns for you, some great guests for you. The guy knows the NFL just inside and out. So very happy that we could have him on today. We're going to shift a little bit to the Celtics here. We're having a great season. Another big win last night over Indiana, who's tanking a little bit, but Pascal gets his 30. Celtics have a big night from Sam Hauser. He even hit a 2 last night, and it was a nice, comfortable victory. And there they sit as the number 2 team in the Eastern Conference, shocking everybody. But I saw this going around on social media, and I think it's time to address it because I was a bit surprised by the response, but I shouldn't have been. As Celtics fans, it's time for us to talk about Al Horford a little bit. Now, Al is remembered as like a legend with the Celtics, right? Your grandpa, big old Al, was big in that 2024 championship team. Yeah. He truly was obviously one of the leaders of that team. He came up in big moments for you in 22 and 24. Like, I was a huge Al Horford fan. I was, seriously. First time around, second time around, big Al Horford fan. And what he did with that 2024 championship run, like, you can't take that away. Al Horford is a big reason why that banner is hanging up there. But if there's one thing about us in Boston, it's that to us, nothing means more than Boston. Nothing. And these teams specifically. And we're not under the real illusion that that's your whole life as a pro athlete, but we want you to have the same passion that we have. And at times, Al Horford showed that. But I'm starting to see people talking about retiring Al Horford's number here in Boston because the Celtics have somewhat low standards for retiring a number. I'm just sitting there thinking, are you kidding me? What are you smoking if you think Al Horford deserves to have his number retired in this city? Like, you've got to be joking. Because let's take a critical look at Al Horford's time with the Celtics. Because he came in 2016. He was the biggest free agent signing the Celtics had ever had. To that point, probably, I mean, maybe still is. You know, like, that was a huge free agent signing for the Celtics. And he was a good, productive player for them for 4 years. of a 5-year contract. And then things started to go south, right? Like he came in here the same summer they drafted Jaylen Brown. Then in the second year, Jason Tatum was drafted. He did a good job bringing those guys along. And then the Kyrie saga happens. And after 2019, Kyrie leaves, and it's going over to Tatum and Brown. So if you're keeping score at home, this was the first time in Al Horford's tenure that the going got tough. And the first time the going got tough, Al Horford looked like this. He opted out of his contract. He took less money to go play for the Philadelphia 76ers, a team that had not been as good as the Celtics, and, of course, are one of the Celtics' big rivals. So when the going got tough, Al Horford said, I don't want to be a Celtic anymore. Literally said, I don't want to be here. I'd rather go and play in Philadelphia. Like, could you imagine how we treat any player for doing that? For choosing to not play for the Celtics and instead go play for one of your biggest rivals that probably didn't even have as good a chance of winning as you did? And didn't. And the Celtics swept him the next year in the bubble. So automatically, like, you're on the shit list right there. If there were fans in the stands when they played in that playoff series, he would have gotten the shit booed out of him. But he becomes this redemption story, right? He goes to Oklahoma City, and then he comes back as kind of a weird deal that the Celtics pull off, but he's huge for them in 22 in the run to the finals, and he's an integral part of them lifting a championship banner in 2024. And then after 2025, when he's fallen in the good graces of all the Celtics fans again, everybody loves him again. But then in 2025, for the second time in his Celtics career, the going gets tough. And what does Al Horford do the second time the going gets tough? He does the same thing he did the first time. He jumps ship. He leaves, and he goes to the Golden State Warriors, where for the second time in his career, he believes leaving the Celtics to go to this team will give him a better chance of winning. And as it stands right now, that's not happening. The Celtics are the number 2 seed in the East. The Warriors are the number 8 seed in the West and just lost Jimmy Butler for the year. They're a middling team in the Western Conference. So twice, when the pressure was put on for the Celtics and they had to go down and dig deep and find some identity, both times, Al Horford wasn't part of it. Al Horford left. So yeah, man, you're going to argue with me and say, look, he's part of a championship team. How can you try to take away from that? I don't want to. He's a big part of those teams. But this is a guy who has ditched you twice. 2 times, this guy has pulled up next to you when you've got a flat on the side of the highway. And both times, he rolled down the window, said, hey, you can't park here. Ha ha ha, flipped you off and left. Both times. You're probably not going to boo him when he comes back. But let's just remember how Al Horford left you both times when it's time to start thinking about Al Horford's legacy in Boston. Do me a favor. Remember that. He essentially, the first time, did the same thing Kyrie did. Kyrie said, I hope to re-sign here if y'all will have me, and then didn't. Al Horford was still under contract and opted out. It's really not different. Now, he didn't stomp on the logo, and he did come back to the team, but then he did the same thing again. So, no. Al Horford, by the way, was not a good enough player to have his number retired with the Celtics. And when we start thinking about him as this, aw shucks, lovely grandpa, let's just remember what he thinks of playing here when the going gets tough, twice. And he was wrong, by the way, both times. Should be dunking the basketball on him. So yeah, it's a complicated legacy, I would say, for Al Horford in Boston. Because I love Boston as a fan. Al Horford doesn't. He doesn't care about Boston. He chose to leave it twice when things were not going great, but not terrible. Here they are, number 2 team in the East. And they built it back up fairly quickly the first time. They made the conference finals the first year without him in 2020, and they swept him along the way. So just remember that when we get all folksy about Al Horford. But green teamers, man, Celtics fans more than any other fan base in the city, they will forgive. They will forgive and gleefully forget that twice Al Horford pulled alongside you with the flat tire and flipped you off and drove away. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you live on YouTube every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then we're available wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, you bet. It's right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. Thank you very much to Zach Burke for keeping us on the air. Thank you very much to Zach Gelb for helping us get on the air today. Right off the top, we had the guests. We never do that, but when Zach Gelb says that's when I could do it, that's when you do it. And thank you guys for tuning in. If you're new here, which we have a lot of new fans this week, check out the YouTube channel. All right, we're posting segments there all the time. I'm always looking for comments, whether you love me or specifically if you hate me. Check out some of the videos we've had going this week and all the coverage. We have got a big guest coming on tomorrow, a guy who has played for both the Patriots and the Broncos to help us preview the AFC Championship game. 3-time Super Bowl champion Lonnie Paxton is set to join the Wicked Boston Show tomorrow. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern time, live on YouTube. You can catch it afterwards on the YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts as well. We will see you then on the Wicked Boston Show.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit OpenGOAAALUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.